I'm Devin Kurtz with the Dartmouth Review, and I'm in Cambridge today with Dr. Shiva, who's running for Senate against the fake Indian, Senator Warren. And we're going to do a face-to-face interview, live. So Dr. Shiva, speak to your time in college. Can you tell us about what kind of student you were, and were you involved in politics on campus?
Yeah, great question. I came to MIT, if I recall, with enough credits to probably graduate MIT in like 2.5 years. But Devin, I was more interested in how systems worked. I had built this email system as a kid. I came from the caste system of India. So one of the things MIT was known for was systems theory. And so I started really wanting to understand how systems worked. The caste system, political systems, and my interest in politics really peaked around 1983, 1984. I was essentially becoming more and more anti-establishment. I got a little bit intrigued by this campaign called the Rainbow Movement, which was against what seemed to be initially against the Democrats and Republicans, led by what later turned out to be a sellout, an Uncle Tom, Jesse Jackson. And the reason I believe he was a big sellout was on the date of the Democratic Convention, he gives all of his votes to Walter Mondale, basically misleads, like Bernie Sanders did, all of his followers back into the establishment Democratic Party. So that's when I broke with both parties. And we started a radical newspaper on campus called The Student, and our core theme was against both Democrats and Republicans. And from that standpoint, we analyzed all different issues. So it was a very powerful newspaper. The administration of MIT at one point got so scared of our newspaper and the influence we were having, they actually started another fake news newspaper called The Thistle. Because we were so far radical against the establishment tech, they started an intermediary newspaper to mislead people. And that's what the people in establishment do. You have the establishment, you have the change agents, and when there's a vacuum, they create a third group, which is to mislead the change agents back to the establishment. So yeah, so my life at MIT is very, very political. You can read about it. We organized food service workers. The liberals were complaining about South African apartheid, but they didn't want it. Many of these liberal students wouldn't go to Dorchester or Roxbury. So it's easy for them to talk about racism 10,000 miles away, but many of them were themselves, had racial issues themselves. So